I don't know what it is about this time of year, but I absolutely adore it. I love planning. I love new goals. I love that feeling of this year is going to be different, all of those things. And so I thought it would be a lot of fun to put together a podcast episode that just highlights all the things that I do before I start a new year. And I wanted to share them with you. And hopefully, not only will it help you with your social media plans for 2022, but maybe with your overall business plans for 2022. So, are you ready to learn what I do at the beginning of each new year? I can't wait to share it with you. Episode 303 starts right now. Hey there, welcome to the Lora Shipman Show. We hang out here weekly to talk about things like social media, entrepreneurship, marketing, tools, strategies, tips, and it all starts right now. Hey there, before we get started with this show, I just want to share my passion with you. I love teaching people just like you how to master social media for business, breaking it down into easy to consume and easy to execute steps so that you can see immediate results. So whether you want to start a social media consultancy or grow your brand's presence on social media, I can help. I can help you get started and master all the things that you need to know. So I want you to go over to my website. It is filled with resources, tools, tips, and courses. Visit lorashipman.com. That's LORA shipman.com to get all the goods. Now, you ready for the show? I know I am. Let's get started. Okay, so let's chat, my friends. Let's chat about New Year's resolutions, New Year plans, New Year goals, all of those things. I need to be perfectly honest with you. When I was a kid, my father would send my brother and I up to our rooms like right around December 30th or the 31st on New Year's Eve and made us write out a list of New Year's resolutions. I gotta be honest, Dad, and I'm sorry for listening to this, but I hated that chore. And it was a chore because the rule was we had to come up with 12 things that we wanted to change about our year for the upcoming year. 12 things. I'm 10 years old at the time, and I had to do this every year. But at 10 years old, 12 things. What 12 things was I going to change about myself? And I probably didn't have plans past that night, let alone plans for the rest of the year. So to say that New Year's resolutions really made some sort of a impact on my life is like an understatement, right? So it's always been there in the back of my mind. And every year I would literally try and come up with 12 things I wanted to change and stick to it. Those 12 things, it's hard. 12 things is not an easy thing. And the idea behind the 12 was it was one thing for every month of the year, right? So needless to say, I never could complete all 12. And I ended up really dreading New Year's and these 12 things that I needed to achieve for the upcoming year. It was really frustrating for me, and I always felt like a failure by the end of the year because I never hit all 12 things. Well, since those years, I have actually developed different ways for me to feel good about making changes in my life for the upcoming year, and I want to share them with you. And some of these things you've probably already heard of, but some of them you may not have, and I'm hoping you're going to enjoy this. So if you have pen and paper, you might want to grab it. If not, you don't need to. Just listen, and some of the ideas that come out will probably stick, and you'll think, hey, that's a great idea. I'm going to use that. So let's get started. So the first thing that I like to do is a lot of people choose a word of the year and they pick that word. I prefer to choose a theme of the year. So what will my theme be for this year? Will it be something, maybe it's resilience, maybe it's growth, maybe it's going to be something like development or learning or upskilling, whatever it is, pick a theme. I don't think a word is good enough. I think a theme is better because that way it's buildable, right? You can build on top of that theme. You can have that theme transfer over into your business, into your personal life, into your health and fitness life, whatever it is that you're working on, that theme can carry forward and it can encapsulate so much more than I think a word can. So if you're taking notes and you're trying to do a plan with me type thing, write down on your to-do list, pick a theme for the year. The second thing that I love to do, which I never used to do, and I'll tell you, I'll be perfectly honest, I really didn't buy into it at first when it got really popular and a lot of people did it, but was a vision board. And first off, I'm not the type to go through magazines. Like I don't have a lot of magazines in my house. So for me to do a vision board using magazines wasn't really a thing. I could use the internet and print out pictures, but still that just didn't do it for me. But then one year I decided to do a vision board, a digital vision board. At first, maybe it started out on Pinterest where I just started pinning a bunch of things that really resonated with me for the year. But then that pin board got so big and that when I looked at it, I really couldn't see it. So what I did instead is I created a vision board, a digital vision board through Canva. And what I really loved about this was I could make a couple of different versions, right? I could make a version that was sized to my iPhone. So that way I used it as my screensaver. And every time I woke up my iPhone, I would see what my vision was. I could also create it so it would be an 8.5 by 11, and I could put it on my bulletin board, or I could also make a smaller version and throw it in my paper planner. So I could always see this vision board wherever I was. The year I made that vision board was the year that everything changed. Like everything in my business changed, my personal life changed, everything that I wanted to have happen happened. And I think it's because it was always in the forefront of my mind, right? So I saw that vision board no matter where I went. And so when you start seeing that message over and over that you've got to do this, that you want to hit this, that you want this goal to happen, subconsciously your mind starts urging you to take actions in certain ways and maybe doing things that maybe you wouldn't have done previously to make sure that you hit those goals, because it becomes a need, right? So like when you first write down, this is what I believe, and it may not be for you, but this is how I think of things. When you write down those resolutions for the year, those are the wishes that you want to come true, right? That it's a wish until you put a plan behind it. And I feel like when you take those wishes or those goals for the new year and put it somewhere on a vision board or somewhere where you see it every day, it needs a plan in order for those to happen. And whether you realize you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, because it's always in front of you, because you've written it down and you see it every day, you can't help but act on those goals and create some sort of a plan or an idea to make those goals come to fruition. Okay, so now let's talk about what goes on those vision boards, because if you remember earlier in the podcast, I said as a child, I had to come up with 12 different things to focus on during the year, and that was like overwhelming. As an adult, 12 different things to focus on over the year is overwhelming. Like, who can do that? What I like to do, and maybe some people can, it's just for me, it's just too much, right? So for me, what I did is I broke down my year into different categories that I wanted to see improvement in. And these are the ones that I typically use every year. Now, they can be different from other people, but I think this is a good foundational way to start. So I have 5 different areas. The first one is business. The second one is health. The third one is relationships. The fourth one is personal development. And the fifth one is lifestyle. And by lifestyle, I mean, do I want to travel more? What hobbies do I want? Those sort of things. Like, what do I want to work on? So for the first one in business, what I might take a look at is pick one goal within that business category that I want to master, that I want to see happen for me in my business. So I'm just going to make it up. Let's say that I wanted to focus on affiliate marketing because I thought in 2022, if I focus on affiliate marketing, that's going to make me hit my goal, my financial goal for my business. And so I'm going to give myself 12 months to not only learn everything I possibly can about affiliate marketing, but also take action steps to get me to those financial goals. So here's the cool thing about this. If you have a goal for yourself and your business, you can learn how to do that from your home and on your downtime or as a side hustle, because we've got YouTube, we've got Google, I'm going to say something bizarre. We have TikTok. I've got to tell you, there are lots of people who are doing what you want to do who are on TikTok, and you can learn from them. So I would pick one business goal, like one big business goal that you want to focus on. Don't go for a bunch of mini goals. Go for one big one. Now, the same thing for health. What is it that you want to focus on in regards to your health? Do you want to lose more weight? Do you want to have better endurance? Do you want to have more muscle tone? Pick one thing and then pick the activity that you need to perfect to hit that goal. Relationships. What do you want to work on in your relationships? Is it being more patient? Is it being more thoughtful? I don't know. You figure it out for you. What are the things that you want to improve upon when it comes to your relationships? Personal development. What's a new skill that you could learn that would develop you as a person even more? Purchase books, listen to audiobooks, watch YouTube videos. All of those things can help you focus on that during the 12 months. And then your lifestyle. What's one thing that you're going to change in your lifestyle? Is it going to be to become more spiritual? Is it to travel more? Is it to develop a certain hobby? All of those things, you figure out what makes you you, pick out what that end goal looks like, and then put those on your vision board. So now you see that every day, several times a day, so that you're focusing on that. And what you focus on is what will actually come true. Now, for some of you who've never thought about vision boarding and thinking about the law of attraction, I really didn't get into a lot of the law of attraction, but it is something that I follow. You may think this sounds a little too woo-woo. Like I thought that at the very beginning too. I'm like, what is this law of attraction crap? Like you're going to think it and it'll come in its simplest form. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. But it's more than that, because you can't just think about it and it'll come. You have to think about it. Plus you have to do the work to get it, if that makes sense. So here's what I would recommend doing. And this is what I did. Go to YouTube and just search law of attraction and see what channels come up. You will find a channel that matches your mindset, that matches your personality, that really resonates with you. Just give it a try, because even if you have a goal just to be more positive, I've got to tell you, the law of attraction can help you with that. And it can make a huge difference in your life, but you also have to do the work to make those things come to fruition. Now, I really wish that I journaled. I don't. I start to, I'm really bad at it. I forget to, and then it falls off. But the one thing I will say that's really kind of helpful and that's kind of neat to do is, if you're not a journaler like I am, is at least at the beginning of the year, write down what your vision is for the upcoming year. So take a couple of minutes and write down what your vision is for your life for 2022, and make sure you hit every single category we talked about: business, health, relationships, personal development, and lifestyle, and really build that out. Now, the lifestyle only said like travel and hobbies, but maybe it's like you want a new house or you want a new car or things like that, because I wanted those things too in previous years. And that all came to fruition because it was on my plan. It was in my sight. It's what we focused on. So do the same thing for you. And when you write it out, a year from now, you're going to go back and look at that and you're going to say, oh, look at all the things that did come true. Look at the things that haven't quite happened yet, but they are coming. And as long as you see a pathway that things are coming, you will stay motivated and inspired to continue working towards these goals that you have for yourself. Now, don't beat yourself up for not hitting all of these goals in a year. I mean, that's a lot. You've got 5 different areas of your life that you're focusing on, and we picked one thing from each area of your life. So those are 5 goals that you're really working on, 5 overall goals. And that's a lot to focus on. So don't beat yourself up if you don't hit all 5 of those goals. Really instead congratulate yourself, because I bet when you look back on your life and you say, hey, although I didn't maybe hit 3 out of the 5 goals, my life has changed dramatically in those areas. I may not be exactly where I want to be today, but you know what? I'm in the right direction. And it's okay that you carry forward those goals into 2023. The point is, you just need to take steps every single day of your life towards each of those 5 goals that you laid out for yourself at the beginning of this year. So that's how I tackle goals for an upcoming year. And I think your life and your business need that from you, right? I think sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves and then nothing gets done. I would rather put less pressure on ourselves and have little things get done, because little things compounded over time turn into big things. And that comes from Darren Hardy. Go read his book, The Compound Effect. It will help you with some of these goals that you're building for yourself. All right, my friends, that does it for this episode. Happy New Year to you. I wish for you to have a very prosperous new year. And don't forget, stay safe, stay healthy, hug the ones you love, and most of all, my friends, stay social. Hey there, I just want to say thank you for spending time with me here today. I know your time is super valuable, which is why I am dedicated to providing lots of usable, actionable information in the shortest amount of time possible. Before you go, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. And if you have ideas or topics you would like me to cover in an upcoming show, let me know about it in the comment section provided.